Rickey Smiley Morning Show. The most funny in the morning. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Just another day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. God is good all the time, and all the time,
I know that's
God is good. Pastor Haynes, I know you got a good word this morning.
Hey, thank you, Rickey Smiley. Life can go bad, but the good news is God is so good, and oftentimes God's goodness shows up in how God favors us. God grants us favor in spite of frustration, in spite of life not going the way we want it to. Yet God has a way of choosing us for blessings in the midst of what should have broken us. God has a way of opening doors that had been shut before. In a real sense, God can take a shut door to open your path to a purpose, open your eyes to where God is trying to get you. That's favor breaking in spite of frustration. I'm glad to testify God favored me, and somebody has the testimony. God has favored you. God has been good to you when life went bad for you. God favored you by giving you the strength to go on and keep on keeping on, even when life tried to block you and haters tried to halt you. God still blessed you, and God favored you in such a way that God prepared a table of favor in front of you, in front of the very people who cannot stand you. I'm glad to testify that God is in the business of giving us favor. So don't allow what someone else is doing to blind you to what God has done and will do. My testimony is, thank you, God favored me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the senior pastor of Friendship West Missionary Baptist Church, Dallas, Texas, Pastor Frederick Douglass Haynes. Let everybody know how you can be reached.
Hey, thank you, Rick Smiley. You can follow me on social media. I have an Instagram and Twitter handle at FH Unscripted. My YouTube channel is Frederick Haynes, and my Facebook page is Frederick D. Haynes.
There it is. All right, y'all. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Love you, Pastor Haynes.
Love you, Ricky. Have a great one.
Yes, sir. Let's get into some praise right here. Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
News headlines, entertainment, sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, 12 minutes after the hour, y'all got your front page right here being brought to you by
Macy's. This week at Macy's, get an extra 30% off the best brands and top designers with your coupon or Macy's card. Plus, 15% off spring go-to beauty, skincare, and fragrances now at Macy's. Savings off regular, sale, and clearance prices. Exclusions apply. Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm your girl, Eva Marcille, here with a quick look at your front page news. A new round of talks between Ukraine and Russia is set for today with hopes of ending the war. Meanwhile, President Biden clarified the remarks that he made at the end of a session, or a speech rather, in Poland, saying that Russian President Vladimir Putin, quote, cannot remain in power. Biden said he was not calling for a regime change, but instead was expressing his outrage towards Putin. In other news, the House committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol voted unanimously last night to hold two former Donald Trump advisors in contempt of Congress for refusing to comply with committee subpoenas. Meanwhile, a federal judge said it is, quote, more likely than not that Trump committed crimes in an attempt to stop the certification of the 2020 presidential election and ordered the release of more than 100 emails from former Trump lawyers. In other news, new poll shows that more than half of Americans now say they have had COVID-19. And after spending almost a week in the hospital for flu-like symptoms, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, whose pro-Trump wife has been in the news lately, returned to work and participated in arguments remotely via phone yesterday.
With ugly self. I'm sorry. That ugly green dress on with them shoulders out.
Them little shoulders. All right, that's what's going on in news. For more,
8th grade prom dress to the White House.
For more or pictures of Virginia Thomas, please log on to the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.com.
8th grade prom dress.
Rock T, what's going on in sports?
What up, Eva Vashiva? NCAA March Madness Women's Final Four is set. Number 1 South Carolina will play number 1 Louisville. Number 1 Stanford will play number 2 UConn. UConn beat NC State last night in a double overtime overtime matchup. It was off the chain. So congratulations to all 4 teams right there. The NFL expands the Rooney Rule. So they must hire a minority offensive assistant coach for the 2022 season to address the league's diversity efforts. So big up for the NFL to do this, and hopefully they're not feeling pressure of doing it, but if they are, so be it. It is what it is. Rick, you're going to find this one kind of entertaining. Former Cleveland Indian great Jim Tomei and his wife are longtime Cleveland Browns season ticket holders. They are canceling their support, boycotting the Cleveland Browns for signing quarterback Deshaun Watson. All right? The sexual misconduct allegations against Watson were too much. She is not accusing Deshaun of being guilty, but said the volume of 22 women accusing him are enough to make her own decision.
Okay, well, all right.
So there you go. So somebody else can get them seats.
Pretty much.
Right. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Bye.
But here's why I brought that up.
Right.
What if other people fall suit and they start boycotting, doing the same thing? Is that gonna force?
He already signed the contract, and then they're all gonna come back when the Cleveland Browns head to the playoffs into the Super Bowl.
So you don't think that a whole bunch of this boycotting will force Cleveland Browns' hands to say sorry, Deshaun?
We'll give him all the money then that he signed for.
They're gonna have to.
Yeah. He's already signed the contract or whatever, and they're just bandwagon stuff. And as soon as he start winning, everybody mind gonna change. Period.
Yeah. All right, man.
It'll be all right.
It is
you know
what
I'm
it is.
saying? You innocent until proven guilty.
Absolutely.
That's what I thought. All right, let's take a look at Gary with the T. What up?
All right, Ricky. Now, everybody's talking about it still, that doggone slap, honey, at the Oscars. And it's being reported, y'all, that the slap was fake. They're saying, y'all, people thinking that they're saying it was fake. They're saying the way they stood up with each other, number one. They say the way Chris Rock was standing on that stage with his arms behind his back. They say, honey, face just sitting right there. Will Smith walked up, honey, slapped him, turned around, walked away. They're saying it just didn't seem right. People examined the tape, and they're saying it just looked like it was fake. And then they're also saying, too, y'all, that Chris Rock, he refused to press charges, y'all. They say even though you don't, law enforcement officials said that you don't really have to, file a report or what have you and stuff. They said, but the victim, when that was an assault, honey, they're saying, and it was captured on camera, they're saying, this looks very fishy, y'all. And they're saying that it just was a fake slap. They're
but
saying
fake
that it
to the
fake.
benefit of who?
Nah, well, who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe
it
both
don't
of
seem
them
like
correct.
it was
Exactly,
fake, Gary. It
Kay.
really don't. Like,
Yeah.
the way Will was talking when he sat down and the way his face looked, it didn't seem fake to me.
Yeah,
Did you
but
see his apology, Gary? He's gone out and apologized.
yeah, and then not upon it too, y'all. Just think about this though. This man slapped this man on stage, honey, in front of the national audience or whatever, and went partying afterwards.
He
That's not right.
I mean, he stayed for the awards and everything.
Yeah, that's not right. They say given all the evidence, they say they think it was a stage by the two of them.
If you slap, you gonna definitely party. But if you got slapped, you going home and
Yeah, I don't think Chris Rock was
Slappy or the
partying.
slapper?
Yeah, so it was a sad thing though. So, honey, and then a lot of people saying too. I mean, he slapped Chris Rock, but he didn't slap Laverne Cox, honey, when she asked about the entanglement on that red carpet.
you would have got a hate crime charge.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Right.
But it's interesting, but they're going to still investigate with him. But some people saying they say it was just blatantly, honey, a fake slap. So, we're going to see how that all turns out, though. But whatever the situation is, honey, I mean, they have the talk. Nobody talking about who won an award. They're just talking about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. And you ain't heard nothing from Chris.
No.
So. The color today, y'all, is one of my favorite colors. My color today, y'all, is supersonic. On the high end, you say supersonic, and on the low end, you say beautiful water blue. That's your color for the day. Brad, what you got coming up in the hot spot?
Coming up next in the hot spot, Will Smith responds, and I'm going to tell you all about it up next. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 29 before the top of the hour. Y'all, this segment is being brought to you by Indeed. Streamline how you hire with Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform make it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit. What up, Brett?
What up, Ricky? Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brett Tat Tat, and this is the hot spot where we bring you music, movies, and more. So let's get off into it. Well, y'all, Will Smith issued an apology to Chris Rock. In an Instagram post, he wrote, "Violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I'm embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness." He continued, "I would also like to apologize to the Academy, producers of the show, all the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us." And that's what he wrote. What y'all think about that?
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to move on because that was draining from me emotionally.
Yes.
As I have met Will Smith, and Chris Rock is my friend, and it really hurt me, Brett. Like, it really hurt my heart because I really didn't sleep, and it stirred up my spirit to see something like that. And I just really appreciate the apology. So I'm ready to move on too, because there's just too much crazy stuff going on in the world that we need to be discussing and talking about, as opposed of dealing with that, because that was I really appreciate, I'm just saying from our point of view or whatever, and and God forgive us for our sins, and I forgive him for that, and I just really appreciate that.
Right. Yeah. Me too. I mean, people gonna keep talking about it, but I'm glad he issued an apology because it was much needed.
Yeah.
I think. Well, Chris Rock's team has denied that he released an apology statement to Will Smith. Shortly after Smith released a statement apologizing to Rock, a fake apology statement from Rock began circulating online. A journalist tweeted, "Chris Rock has not yet issued a statement. There is a statement going around purporting to be from Rock that is not from him, per his team." The false statement read, "As a comedian, it can be difficult to understand which lines are to be crossed and which ones aren't. Last night, I crossed a line that I should not have crossed and paid an enormous price of my reputation as a renowned comedian." Meanwhile, Chris Rock's team also denied Diddy's claim that he and Will squashed their beef, telling TMZ that Will and Chris have not spoken at all after the slap. A source said that Chris went straight to his dressing room after the slap, and there hasn't been any communication between Will and Chris. A person in Chris camps also said that the comedian had no intention of staying initially. The source also noted that Chris Rock didn't have any idea Jada Pinkett Smith had alopecia and that he doesn't have a mean bone in his body.
Right.
In other news, Rock's tour tickets, the sales have skyrocketed after Smith's slap at the Oscars. According to the sources, ticket sales for Rock's Ego Death Tour has went up $46 per ticket on March 18th to a whopping $341 per ticket. Wow, that's a huge jump.
I wish somebody come slap the hell out of me in Special K.
Damn, yeah, you ain't lying.
Get our ass out these comedy
Slap both of us at the same time.
Please, slap us out. Pow!
Well, y'all, reports say that Will and Jada are set to break their silence on the Chris Rock Oscar slaps in the upcoming episode of Red Table Talk, of course. And according to Radar Online, the couple will allegedly tape the
Now we gotta
episode
sit
as
there and watch
early
another
as this
episode
week.
of Red Table.
Right. All right, y'all, we gonna wrap up the hot spot on that note, but why don't y'all hit us up for them wake-up calls at 866-9-RICKY. That's 866-9-RICKEY. The time now is 25 minutes before the top of the hour. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
And now it's time for you to get paid up to $1,500 with Rickey Smiley's Beat the Buzzer.
Oh, man, that's right, man. Hey, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, congratulations. You are caller number 20 and just won $100 plus a chance to win up to $1,500 if you can beat the buzzer, all right? Not the buzzer, but the buzzer. All right, listen, what's your name and where you calling from?
Risha from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Chat-town. All right, y'all. Hey, listen here. How it's going to go now. Once the timer starts, you're going to hear dollar amounts for cash prizes that could go as high as $1,500. But here's the thing. The dollar amount could go up, and, they could also go down. So, listen, make sure that you yell out, stop, as soon as you hear the amount that you want to keep, because the buzzer could go off at any time, and you will lose it all. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. Good luck.
$200. $500. $300.
Oh, damn. feel bad.
Me too.
That was a tough one.
Oh, man, we need special K. You don't have any Dollar Tree prizes?
You didn't even win no Dollar Tree prizes on that one.
But you did. You listen, man, the buzzer got you. But listen, I'm so sorry. You still get to keep the $100 prize just for being caller number 20. Listen, congratulations. Oh, Lord, boy, that was about as awkward as the slap. All right, listen. Hey, make sure you keep listening for your chance to beat the buzzer and win up to $1,500 right here on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Love, I'm sorry, but you got $100. That'll get you some gas, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you welcome. We love you, Chat Town. Oh, Lord. Holy Jesus, holy Jesus.
Holy God. Holy grail.
More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up. Lord have mercy. What happened?
On it.
It's Gary, baby.
What up, Gary?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Tuesday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. They said she loved her man with all honesty, but she knew he was cheating on her, allegedly. Miss Alvina Stewart Anderson, the beautiful wife, y'all, of comedian actor Anthony Anderson, has filed to end her marriage after 22 years with Mr. Anthony Anderson. They're saying, y'all, that Miss Stewart filed for divorce in Los Angeles County courts, citing irreconcilable differences as the reason for their breakup. Now, according to the filing, they're saying Miss Stewart Anderson claims the date of separation is TBD, and she is requesting spousal support from the Blackish Star. All gifts and inheritance, all assets, earnings, accumulations, and debt acquired by petitioner prior to the date of marriage and after the date of separation, the exact nature and extent of which are unknown, the documents stated. They're saying
How long they been together, Gary?
22 beautiful years, Ricky.
Beautiful.
They met at HBCU, Howard University, where you would have thought
Gary,
they would still
we
be
need
together.
to pray. We need
to definitely pray, honey, because that's not a good look, honey. When two beautiful black people meet at a HBCU, they should stay together because they know the struggle. But
I'm talking
evidently
about
it's not working.
cafeteria love.
Yes, Lord.
Cafeteria love, on campus love, walking you to your dorm love.
Exactly.
Gone down the drain.
Down the drain. They're saying, y'all, that Miss Stewart initially filed for divorce back in 2015, but she dismissed the petition and got back together with Mr. Anderson. They say the two then made several red carpet appearances together. They hit another snag back in 2018 when Mr. Anthony Anderson, 51, was accused.
Exactly. What is a snag?
It just was. They were going a straight long line. They were doing good, and then something happened, and a bump happened, and there it went, honey. He
a
went
string got caught on the doorknob.
Got caught on the doorknob, honey. Yes, Lord, honey. They're saying, y'all, that it's unfortunate that anyone could file, a police report, but nevertheless, they're saying, honey, Miss Stewart Anderson now wants a divorce, and she's asking for spousal support. Right. Now, they have two beautiful kids, honey, Kyra, 26, and Nathan, 22, which they're saying that she will not be asking for child support at this time.
Because they grown.
Yeah, but they still can get child support, though. She still should get child support.
No, they ain't how that work.
Yeah, well, it should work that way because the kids gonna still go to their mama for money. Mama, I need this. Mama, I need that.
Their daddy,
they're 30 years old.
Gary.
Look, I know people whose kids don't leave the house here till 30. I left at 17, so she still needs spousal support.
You was put out, Gary.
Okay, yeah, but we didn't want to say. We wanted to say I left.
That's a difference.
There's a difference, honey.
Why they put you out, Gary?
And it's a long story.
There was some baby doll shoes on.
Yes.
His daddy wasn't having it.
He wouldn't have it. I want to play dress up at an early age. They say dress up at your own house. So I said, well, I'm going to exit stage left.
Make him stand up at the toilet. You're not going to sit down to pee.
That's why and you see why I do it now, honey, because I couldn't do it growing up at home. So I said, I'll sit down and pee at my own house. And that's what I'm doing now. Make no error, boo. Niece.
Too much information.
Yeah, well, close your ears. But anyway, y'all, so let's keep these parties, the Andersons, y'all lifted up in our prayer, y'all. It's a very sad, touching moment right now for them.
What did Daddy say, Rick? What did Daddy say?
Moving on. Moving on in other celebrity news, y'all. This is a very touching story. Y'all need to hear this, honey. Tiffany Haddish, baby, she had to check the ET reporter on the red carpet, honey. They say, baby, Miss Anderson, honey. Miss Anderson. Miss Haddish, baby, while this girl was, honey, making her way down the red carpet, she was stopped for a quick interview, honey, with the Entertainment Tonight correspondent, Miss Lauren Zim, y'all. And, baby, Miss Zim say, okay, girl, did you do a little costume change? Here's how it went down.
Did you do a little costume change?
I'm not wearing a costume. I'm wearing Dolce & Gabbana.
It's called an evening gown, darling. No one's paying me for this. I paid for it. It's custom. Thank you.
Time of death for me right now. You look gorgeous.
This is not an acting gig. This is my life. This what fame look like. This what success look like. This what money look like. This what it look like.
When is your book coming out called This What It Looked Like? And I will just read the entire book.
That book's not coming no time soon, but I Curse You With Joy will be out in November. And Layla, The Last Black Unicorn will be out next month. I'm just, trying to accomplish a lot of things before 50. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
Baby Miss Hattie read this girl for filth, honey.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
But she said she played it off. She said time of death.
So, yeah, because she knew, honey, she was finna get it, honey. But sometimes the girls...
Is that an insult costume?
But, that's what I was about to say.
Such an insult.
Well, not really, because, the girls, honey, the queens, we always say, girl, that's a cute costume you wear. So it's not really bad, but I guess coming from a female to another female, honey, she took it really the wrong way, honey. So she said, this is not a costume, baby.
And she had to straight comedy.
Yes, honey. Said she was in Dolce and Gabbana, honey.
That I Curse You With Love.
Okay.
It's coming out next week.
Okay. All right, girl. But they say, wait a minute, you had this girl, honey, come pump the brakes, girl. You was just yesterday, go wearing the same dress, so don't get cute now. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, honey.
No, she earned that, Gary. She earned that, and she did that very right.
Yeah, okay, but the girls didn't feel that, honey. Like, girl, you're feeling yourself right now, honey. You're supposed to be humble and just say, yes, this is a beautiful...
You got to take that mess, Gary. Hey, she worked hard to look nice on the red carpet to have her outfit called a costume.
She looked beautiful. She was in custom Dolce and Gabbana, honey.
Yeah, but baby, that reporter say, girl, let me break you down a notch and say, girl, you're in a costume, honey. Look like you finna go trick-or-treating. But anyway,
that
that's
wasn't
neither
the
here
end of it, because the girl didn't have shoes on, and then Tiffany kept roasting her, Ricky, like a straight comedian. Asked her why she didn't have shoes on the red carpet.
She's like, you out here in no shoes. I'm jealous. I'm like, yeah, girl, right. All right, the color today, honey, is one of my favorite colors. My color today, y'all, is supersonic. On the high end, you say supersonic, and on the low end, you say beautiful water blue. That's your color for the day.
Y'all give it up for Gary with the T.
Yes,
sir. The wake-up call. Y'all get at me, 8669-RICKY, 8669-RICKY. The phone lines are wide open. Call me now, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, time for the wake-up calls. 8669-RICKY, here we go.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's time to get yourself together. Cause they woke you up this long, this led you in your house shoes, so it would be better. Wake up, wake up,
hey.
Encourage each other and be productive. The Rickey Smiley Morning Show, wanna know where you calling from, so come on and tell us and just
wake up.
Good morning, my name is Sheila Dewey. I'm calling from New Road, Louisiana, and I want to say happy birthday to my great-granddaughter, 4 years old, Kinsley Nicole. Wake up, wake up, wake up, Kinsley.
Hi, this is Sheila Nicole from Charlotte. I want to wake up my granddaughter, Olivia Zayla. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Hello, this is Geraldine Carter from Greenwood, South Carolina. I want to wake up my son, Reginald Roper. Wake up, wake up, wake up, Reggie. I love you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I would like to wake up my wife, Harriet Washington in Charlotte, North Carolina. I love you, babe.
This is Mika, and this is Carrington. We want to say to Pawpaw, wake up, wake up, wake up. From Indianapolis, Indiana. Wake up.
What's yours? Cause we gon' let them know.
Let's go.
Kansas City, wake up. In Columbus, wake up. Cincinnati, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. West Palm Beach, wake up. And Greenville, wake up. Come on, Jacksonville,
wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hey, appreciate it, Brad.
You welcome, Ricky.
What's up, Black Tony? What's up?
Shawty, man, I'm so first grader right now. I don't even know. Shawty, you know what?
Yeah.
I might well just go on and fire me, Shawty, because every day something else happen. Well, I can't calm it down. Man, I'm tired of disappointing you,
bro.
Shawty.
You texted me last night and promised me you was coming. You said you was gonna come early.
Shawty, that's why I had planned on being there. I want to be there so bad, Shawty. I want to be there so bad, but everything. This
you know what, Black Tony? That day that you came in to work that day.
Yeah, on President's Day.
Yeah, on President's Day. It's like your credibility is getting real low.
Yo, my credit, I got bad credit. But look, Shawty, This what happened though. Look, I had every intention to come today. This morning, Shotty. I was gonna be there. I had laid my outfit out and everything.
What you had on when you laid out?
Well, I got a fresh fake Gucci fit. I got a Gucci fit, but it's bootleg. But anyway, look, Shotty.
Yeah.
My uncle, this him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to throw nobody under the bus, but my uncle.
Yeah.
My grandmama told me. My uncle too.
Yeah.
My grandmama told me. She said, "Don't go to sleep if your uncle too still up, 'cause you know he get high, he do crazy stuff."
Yeah.
And I tried not to go. I tried to stay up, but I was trying to go to sleep 'cause I wanted to get up early in the morning and be there all the time.
Yeah.
Shot out and fell asleep, man. He done started smoking.
Yeah.
I get up this morning, shot at my uncle too. He done hung up all the damn Christmas decorations. He done put up the Christmas tree, got all the lights on it. Shot got lights all around the house, man.
So what happened?
He got the whole house decorated like damn Christmas.
Right. What's
he got the Santa Claus in the front yard. He got the reindeers out there, everything.
Easter.
So he done got high. He done decorated the house for Christmas.
He done put all the Christmas tree. He done put
how
all
many reindeers out there? Is it all? Is it Dasher and Dancer?
He got all of them out there. Ain't on Rudolph. There's a Brussels, Vincent, Comet, Cupid, President.
And he decorated the inside too.
He know all the
reindeers. Man, so he lights everywhere. So he got lights all up everywhere. So he got the whole Christmas tree up, the angel on the top, everything.
He don't have hang on.
No music playing.
Right.
No, he took his drunk ass to sleep. No.
So what's that got? What's that got to do with you not being at work though?
Right.
Come on, Grandma, I can't sleep with all these lights on.
No.
Hold it. He's half man, half woman. It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
All right, 4 minutes after the hour, y'all. Gary has the tea. And the clue of the day brought to you by
Always Ultra Thins with Always Triple Protection System. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort on your period with Always Ultra Thins. Hey, Gary.
Good morning, Eva. Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Tuesday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. Kevin Hunter, the ex-husband, y'all, of Wendy Williams Hunter, y'all, is speaking out. He said, y'all, that he does not regret the love child that he created with his mistress while married to the beautiful talk show queen, Wendy Williams. Now, they're saying, y'all, that Mr. Hunter is, however, very contrite, honey, for his role in the dissolution of his 20-year marriage to Ms. Williams. He said, I'm sorry that the emergence of life, how I decided, honey, to bring it hurt her, and the whole stereotype of what happens when a man does that. He said, but I understand, y'all, that you can't make everyone happy in that instance, but I do not regret what happened. I was not trapped into what happened, as a matter of fact, and again, I am profusely apologetic, honey, for the impact it caused. He said, I realized that. And everybody saying for the first time, y'all, Mr. Hunter finally opened up to his fans on several hot topics, including his decision, y'all, baby, he got fans, honey. And his decision, y'all, to stop his mistress, y'all, Miss Sharina Hudson, from aborting their child, to his lawsuit against the Wendy Williams show producers and the establishment of his legacy apart from his famous wife. Now, he said, as a matter of fact, the mother of my child, when we discovered that she was pregnant, she was the first one, y'all, to try to suggest an alternative. And I actually said no. That's because of the joy that I needed to have in my life at that time. He said there were a lot of things that I couldn't control, but yeah, I could have controlled my actions better if I chose to. But until you've been in my shoes wholeheartedly to understand exactly what I was dealing with, you can't tell me nothing. I don't know too many men who could have did exactly what I did. Unquote.
Wow.
Woo, honey, he's a mess. Yes, it is a lot and stuff, honey. And my thing is, though, how you going to sit and talk about this child bringing you joy? I mean, broad joy. If you didn't have that much joy with your wife, you should have left her and not go out there and cheated with this doggone woman and then let her get pregnant and what have you and stuff. And now, honey, you're still sitting there trying to get Wendy money by suing the producer of the show. You're trying to make that other part of your 15-minute comeback. Like I say, everybody got 15 minutes, and I guess he still had 3 left of his. But it's a sad thing, though, honey, that he's doing that, and Wendy's still going through her situation, though. But I don't think that's something you should brag about, that, you knew what you was doing. That was not cute, honey, at all. That's not a good look, honey. That's not making black men look good at all. But then There you have it. All right, moving on, honey. In other celebrity news, y'all, baby Miss Sweetie, honey. Now, remember, let me just do some backtrack. Remember, y'all was telling y'all that they wanted Jay-Z to ban to just stop to have his party, having his party at the Chateau Marmont in Beverly Hills because they were saying that they did black people bad and blah, blah, blah. Well, the party went on, honey. And, baby, they're showing some of the pictures of the people that was in attendance to the party. One in particular, Miss Sweetie. Y'all need to Google Sweetie, baby, at Jay-Z's party. The dress this heifer had on was just, I could not believe it. She must have just got her a new pair of implants, baby, because she got those girls out. That dress is a cutout dress, honey. And that was disrespectful to Beyonce. She can't wear nothing. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's cute and sexy and all that, but come on, y'all.
Beautiful, Gary.
She looks
young
beautiful,
and vibrant.
Yeah, but that's disrespectful.
Yes, she is.
To Beyonce, though, honey. I don't like that, honey. She could have wrapped up a little bit more, though, honey. Now, the first thing she'd be smiling up in Jay-Z damn face, and Beyonce just sitting there looking at her.
I don't think Beyonce would be threatened by her.
I don't think she's worried at all.
Ricky, y'all don't understand, honey. It's not the idea about being threatened, honey. You know how y'all men are something fresh and new, honey, and you looking at her like that. It's not about the threat. Men want what they can't have, honey, and just to try to get with this girl, honey, that's what he would want. He wouldn't want to leave Beyonce, but they want to play with him because look how she looking. Yeah, it don't make no sense. She should have just went naked.
You might have said something right there now, Gary.
I'm telling you, it's not the idea that y'all want to leave the man, want to leave. They just, you know, it's just not, that's not a good look.
I'm sure she wasn't going there to catch the eye of Jay-Z. I mean, she just wanted to look cute, and that's the stuff she wears. She may catch the eye of somebody else, a potential that she's looking for.
They said the men and the cameramen was thirsting, honey. They said they was salivating at the mouth, honey.
Maybe one of them will be her new man, her next new man. She ain't going just to dress for Jay-Z, though.
Right, and then do you think Sweetie got cooked some macaroni and cheese and a pot roast and some string beans with
it
potatoes?
Don't matter, honey. She could lay for a
Beyonce
night. That's
got
all you want.
Stuff. You know, Beyonce probably can cook, bake. She probably got them greens. Greens don't have stems in them. So we'd probably be buying Glory greens in the can. And then don't put no seasoning in them. Slap your mama's seasoning. Beyonce probably got all kind of done and laid
out. You know,
out.
Miss Tina done showed her how to cook.
It don't matter. Luther Vandross wrote the song, if only for just one night, honey. So that's all that is. Okay, honey. So that's all what matters.
Tell him.
Nah, it don't matter
only
about all
for
that.
one night.
Okay, honey. Nah, okay.
You need.
Okay.
Either way, the feel.
Okay.
Your piece of night. Only for one night.
That's all that matters, baby. And with that being said, honey, the color today is supersonic. On the high end, you say supersonic, and on the lunch, you say water blue, honey. It don't matter about all that cooking and cleaning and all that.
Yeah, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes,
ram.
You name it.
You name it.
Y'all give it up for Gary with the T.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It's the front page news.
It's what's trending now.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Y'all, this is a tough one, but we have to talk about it. Asking all the parents to listen up right now. A tragic story out of St. Louis happened over the weekend that left 2 children dead. And has many people asking, how could this happen? 12-year-old Paris Harvey and her 14-year-old cousin, I hate messing up people's names, especially they passed away, and a 14-year-old cousin who also last name Karan, probably Harvey, I think that's what it is, were at a relative's house for a birthday party when they started live streaming at 2 a.m. Saturday morning. In the video that has now gone viral, it shows the pair playing with a gun in the bathroom. The gun fired while Paris was holding it, accidentally killing her cousin, and seconds later, Paris picks up the gun and fires it again, killing the 12-year-old as well. The police are calling this a murder-suicide. However, the family claims that it was just a freak accident that could have been prevented, and hope someone's learn from this. This is terrible. On the line right now, we have a good friend from Birmingham Police Force and hit TV show, The First 48. Y'all give it up and show your love for Detective Chris Anderson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, Chris, good morning.
Good morning, brother. What's going on? How y'all doing, family?
Man, we good, man. We happy to have you, man. This is such a tragic story. when having a gun and kids under the same roof. What is the safest way, to store your weapon? And what are your thoughts on this? Started off.
Man, this is tragic to say the least, man. And I want to send my condolences and prayers to the family because they have lost not one, but 2 children.
Right.
And it's going to be a long road for them. But as far as the safest way to store a weapon from kids, it kind of depends on the ages for me. For your younger children under the ages of 7 or 8 years old, I say keep it unloaded, keep it locked away or in a lockbox inside of your house. At any age above that, I say it's time to expose them to the dangers of guns and start teaching them then about gun safety.
Right.
Well, Detective Chris, what about those who say that they need fast access to their weapon in case of a break-in or something?
So there are several manufacturers that make lockboxes that you can keep a loaded weapon locked away and yet be able to gain access to that weapon with the press of a button or your fingerprint. And on my Facebook page, I'm going to post some recommended lockboxes on the page today.
So you say about after the age of 7 is when we should start having these conversations with our children. I'm a mother of 3. I have a 2-year-old, an almost 4-year-old, and an 8-year-old. So what does that conversation look like?
Oh, man. So, I think it's all about the maturity level of your children, honestly. And I have actually, a kind of personal story that I have. The way that I was taught about gun safety, as most of y'all know, I followed my mother in her footsteps into police work. And when she was issued her department weapon, she knew that she would be keeping a gun inside of our home. So it was then that, she started teaching us about gun safety. So when I was about the age of 7, I think my older brother was maybe 9 years old, and my youngest brother, he was 6. So my mother is a mother of 3 also. So she took us out and she taught us about guns and how dangerous they are and how dangerous her gun was and that we should never play around with it. And then she made us stand behind her and watch her as she shot into a bottle. I think it was like a 2-liter bottle with water in it and things like that. And we were able to see not only the damage that these weapons cause, but also hear the noise. And it taught us that it was the combination of those two and our mother talking to us that made us realize and have a healthy respect for that weapon. And we never, ever touched her weapon. And I did the exact same thing with my kids growing up. So it's just learning. We have to teach our kids a healthy respect for these weapons, especially if we keep them inside of our homes.
Detective Anderson, what would you say is the number one gun safety rule that should be in the house?
So I'm going to give you 2 of them, actually. I'll give you 2. You should treat every gun as if it's loaded. You should never, ever put your finger on the trigger or point a gun at anything that you are not willing to destroy. And you have to put it like that when you talk to your kids about it, because they have to understand that this weapon will destroy whatever you point it or pull the trigger at.
Wow. Does it make a difference if the gun has a safety or not, Chris?
Well, yeah, it makes a difference, but we have to understand that safeties are just a mechanical component of a gun, and they shouldn't be relied upon in order to make a gun safe. The only safe gun is a gun that's handled safely by the person that's using it.
Wow. Man, thank you, man. Chris, as always, you're always giving us so much information. Thank you for coming on this early in the morning. Let everybody know how they can follow you.
Yeah, so you can follow me on all social media at Detective Sergeant Chris Anderson. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. You can follow me on any of those. And like I said, I'll be posting more information about this because we need to learn more about gun safety because this should never happen to any of our children.
All right. Hey, Chris, I got one more question. That guy, I keep going back to this. Me and Rock T are obsessed. Chris, how much time did that dude get for blaming that car thing on his mom? How much time did he get on first? How much time did he? Because you had to go to court, right?
No, man. He actually pled guilty to it, man, and I think he ended up because of his history. I got to research that, but I want to say he pled guilty and he ended up getting about 20, 25 years in prison.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Chris,
it was the finger for me, fellas. It's always been the finger. You know, when he started coming back to the door to call me, when he started pointing up in the air like, oh, I got something for him now, man. I got to tell him this, boy. I got it.
Chris, let's go down there and see him, Chris, when I come home. Let's go down there and see him. I just want to talk to him. Chris, can we ride down there and talk to him, Chris?
Oh. Hey, man, I'll see if I can get it set up, dog.
Yo, mama?
Chris, do people be blowing you up north talking about how me and Rocky we just...
So I need to get a T-shirt made, man. I really do need to get a T-shirt about your mama.
Yo, you going out all of... I've been a detective for such years. I done heard a lot of stuff. I done seen a lot of stuff, and I done heard people pass blame on a lot of people. But your mama... Boy, I would take that one to my grave, boy. That's my favorite episode of First 48, boy.
Classic.
I fell between the couch and the coffee table. I was laid out on the floor, Chris. Hey, Chris, next time you come on, I want you to tell us that story with that dude driving down Airport Highway. Why you had to pull him over? Why he said he was speeding. Remind me to talk about that, right? All right. Y'all give it up for Chris Anderson, y'all.
Yes, sir.
More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up. All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, but we got the one and only Jeff Johnson on with us. What up, Jeff?
Hey, what's up, Rick? Hey, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning. Man,
Rick, listen, I'm going to need some grace this morning, man, because I want to talk about this will thing, but for me, these are bigger issues than just what happened the other night. And I know I'm not going to say it all perfectly because I'm working out my own thoughts coupled with my own stuff, if you feel me. So the first thing is I've been really struggling, man, with this notion that what Will did the other night was the picture of protecting black women. I think Chris's insensitivity that particular night, coupled with what I'm hearing is him coming at Jada before, especially as it related to hair and the fact that you've made something that talks about this was wrong, right? I understand comedy. I'm not one of these people that think that people should measure themselves with their comedy, but I thought that was an attack. And so I thought that Chris should be held accountable, and I think Will was right to hold him accountable. My problem is that if violence is the picture of protecting black women, we in trouble.
Right.
Because, like, listen, I would have loved to see Will storm the stage, put his arm around him, because he taller than him, get right up on him and be like, bruh, you know my wife is off limits for that. I need you to apologize to her right now. That would have been equally as gangster to me.
Right.
It would have been on stage, and at the same time, I would have whispered in his ear like, N-word, you know we ain't done with this, and I'm going to talk to you later.
Absolutely.
But on stage, because my thing is, I just don't want to see a king. A king knows he don't have to act like a henchman.
Right.
And Will act like a henchman, not a king. And that was the challenge for me. But on top of that, my second thing is, I don't know where Will is mentally or emotionally. So for me to even say that that's what I would have liked to see is outside of where Will is. Will has I feel like Will is going through this need for midlife courageousness. He's talked about in his book that he's always been the nice guy, that he's laughed when stuff wasn't funny, that he's gone along to get along. He had this brand of the good guy, and so he had to show up as the good guy. And when you spend your whole life in the public, and on top of that, then in these last few years, you've had to go from always public to transparent. There's a lot of pressure for that. And I just feel like there was a snap moment for Will. It was like, listen, I'm tired of people testing me, trying me. Dude, why you trying me right now with my wife? And that for me was a snap moment. And so I just think that we also need to be real clear about so many of our brothers and sisters in the public eye are human and need the grace of human moments without it destroying them. And last but not least, I've been real irritated about this notion that what Will did was counter to acceptability politics. Like him going up there and slapping the hell out of Chris was was justifiable because he shouldn't have been in a moment where he was trying to prove to white people something. That wasn't about no white people. That was his moment. He's worked his whole life to be at the Oscars, not for white people. He worked his whole life to win an Oscar, not for what white people think, because he wanted to be in a place where he proved that he was better at what he did than anybody else. And he shouldn't have let anybody take that moment from him. And so I could care less about what white people think. I'm thinking about, what about these babies that's watching him? What about my sons that were watching him? What about your daughters, Rick, that were watching him? What about these grandbabies that was watching him? And what I wanted for him was to be able to have that whole moment without anybody, without Chris, without the Oscars, without anybody else stealing it from him or giving it away to them.
Right.
And so I don't think this is about acceptability politics. To hell with what white people think about who we are. This is about, who do we think about who we are?
Right.
And are we operating and vibrating at our highest level and not our lowest? And so I was just sad about this whole thing, brother. And I'm still processing it in a number of ways, because I don't think this is just about Chris, Jada, and Will. I think this is about us as a community, how we treat each other, what we do to each other, how we're processing our issues and our trauma and our anger, how we're trying to show up in the world as whole people and not letting anybody take that away from us. And last but not least, in the midst of us stepping into our light and owning all the greatness we have, that nobody deserves to rob us of that. And that's why I think that Denzel quote has been so important, that we're at our highest place. That's when the devils come. And the devils sometimes ain't other people, right? It's our own internal stuff.
Right.
And so I hope that makes sense, man. Like
make
I
a lot
said,
of sense, Jeff.
I'm processing a lot of this, brother, myself. And so even as I'm sharing this, I'm not sharing this as Jeff Johnson knows the three things or some infallible pieces of information that only I know. I'm really sharing in this moment because I'm trying to figure out what the hell happened the other night and address some of the bigger issues for us versus just the smaller ones. So I appreciate having the space to do that with y'all. Let me know what you think. I'm at Jeff's Nation on IG. And as always, Rick, I just appreciate being a part of this community that you've created, because I feel safe in this community. I feel appreciated in this community. I feel loved even when I'm challenged in this community. And as we saw the other night, that's not always what we have. So in all of that, brother, I salute you and celebrate you and your audience and every member of this team, because y'all create a space for us to be our whole selves, even when we're not our best selves.
Right.
Love y'all, and I'll talk to you.
Love you,
Thursday.
man.
And I'll talk.
Come on, dog. God, the bass line is...
Man, I sat up here and fired up a cigar.
Come on, dog.
Boy, that's one of my favorites of all time, man. Hey, Special K, man, when they opened up Uptown Comedy Club in Atlanta, the opening night, it was 13 people in the audience, and it was just me and Cedric the Entertainer. I was the opening act. It was 13 people. It was the first show. Mm-hmm. We had been driving around Atlanta giving away tickets to come to Uptown Comedy Club. I forgot his name, but he had gave us $80,000 to invest to open up this club. Gary Abdo, who has what's it called, the comedy
Atlanta Comedy Theater.
Yeah, who owns that now? Opened up that comedy club, and we drove around. Me and Earthquake. Earthquake had a white Volkswagen Jetta, Brat, and we drove around and hired the wait staff. So we drove around Atlanta. We was up and down Peachtree, meeting chicks at gas station, asking them did they want a job. And they was like, yeah, or whatever. And then they said, hey, come over here, come behind the restaurant, Houston's. And man, I'm telling you, man, we opened up that club. So they booked Cedric the Entertainer. They put us at that Marriott Suites right there on 14th Street. And I will never forget it, man. We did the opening night. I was driving a 1979 Cutlass. It was kind of raining.
Yes, sir.
So me and Sid jumped in the car, gave Cedric the Entertainer, gave him a ride to the comedy club. So we turned to make a left down by Peachtree. So we got in front of that Chick-fil-A, and I said, hey, man, I said, I got this little character, this little dude that go to my church that's kind of, slow or whatever. And I said, I can't think of the name of the character. And said, Lil Daryl.
Look at that.
He said, my name, Lil Daryl. He said, then when you do it, you got to do the each speech and you got to put the glasses on. And then you got to say, that's that same night, that day on the way to the comedy club said, helped me develop Lil Daryl.
Look at that.
So every time I hear that song, all of that remind me of the opening night of Uptown Comedy Club, which was, by the way, Special K, the hottest comedy club in the country.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about that line would be all the way around that plaza and down the steps or whatever. And I was opening up for Said, and then Earthquake was the host. But the opening weekend, it was just me and Said because Earthquake had a gig that was, I'll never forget, it was paying him $1,100 because we was roommates. I was renting the other room from him in an apartment in Atlanta. Quake used to have chicks. I was playing the organ for a church. I was like real saved and wasn't really.
You want to try to get it all that?
Quake was running them in and out of there all through the night. I ain't know what the hell. I ain't know we was selling drugs.
Right.
What you had going on? Quake was in there killing. I said, "What is
that?" Was the original Earthquake. That was that was a different Quake. We're gonna put it that way. That was a different Quake back in them days.
I love it.
I will never forget it, man. And that was one of the best days of my life, man. Earthquake, comedian Chocolate, Sherman Golden, all those Atlanta comedians, man, really received me. Especially Bruce. That was one of the first people I made friends with. Bruce used to work for Frito-Lay. He drove his Frito-Lay truck to the comedy club. Because he was doing comedy and he was working for Frito-Lay.
And he come out there and do his set.
And he would come and do his set, man. And I went and shook his hand and said, man, nice to meet you, man. You real funny. And it would just remind me, that's just some of the best days. I can tell stories on.
Those are the best stories, though.
The only thing that just when the comedy club started to go down a little bit, that night Special K had that bad set.
Yeah, that was
and
rough.
K, what happened, K?
Yeah, it was rough. Yeah, it was a Wednesday night. I'll never forget that. And it was
What year
packed.
that was? Was
It was
that
a packed
92?
house.
Was
It
that
was a packed house. It was like 97. It was 97.
And what happened?
And yeah, I had just started out, man, and I went out there, and Quake let me go up and open up on that Wednesday night, and it was a packed house. I went on stage and I went into my first joke, went into my second joke, went into my third joke, and it was just dead silence. Like nothing hit, Rock T.
And what
It
you
was
say-
so
what you-
quiet.
What happened from the kitchen?
And the thing that stood out to me was it was so quiet. They didn't boo. They was just silent.
Right.
And I could hear the dishes tinkling in the back in the kitchen. I could hear the dishwashers cleaning the dishes. And I could hear silverware rattling. And I just apologized to the crowd and I walked off.
And what Earthquake?
I said, y'all, I just ain't got it tonight. I'll be back next week, though. And Quake came up and said, no, you won't. He said, don't you ever threaten my crowd that you coming back. He said, if you come back next week, you be a customer.
Oh, God. We got Mr. Thomas up there. Friday morning show. Hey! I wish I was there. Come on, boy. Oh, no, I'm crying. Boy, they had fun. Hey, Greg, they'll never get old. Hey, K, we all
terrorist.
What'd he say, K?
He said, Special K, he's a comedy terrorist. He go around closing clubs. He go in there and bomb and close the club down. Come back next week, it's a $Family Dollar.
What he said?
He did a whole set about you bombing, dog.
Oh, Quake was vicious back in them days, man.
Yeah, wait a minute. And he said you come back next week and the comedy club gonna be what?
A $Family Dollar. And I shut it down. Nobody got a job. Oh, Quake was a beast back then, boy.
Hey, K, Special K.
Quake was hell on those young comics, man. Quake was, but he put you through boot camp.
Special K. So you say he pulled you to the side after the show, after he got
He
the
pulled me to the side.
And what did he say?
He said, look here, young brother. He said, look here. He said, you're going to be all right, man. He said, you just got to keep swinging. You're going to have them nights. He said, I don't, but you going to have them nights.
But you, on the other hand.
He said, I don't, but you going to have lights.
You ain't say nothing when he was okay.
That was a long walk back to the car. It was just quiet.
Hey, what
I
was
could
you
hear
standing?
all the crickets. I could hear all the...
Where was you standing when he was roasting? Because they was beating the table. They were rocking back and forth. Where was you standing?
No. When he was roasting me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was in the back. I was in the back by the bathroom because, the security was standing right there. He wouldn't even let me leave. He was just, he said, you're going to sit in this. He said, you're going to sit in this.
Did you have your hands in your pocket or was your hands folded or you had your hands?
I just had my hands in my pocket.
In his hoodie pockets.
I was just looking up at the ceiling.
Was you swaying left and right, or did you sit there?
No, I was standing completely still.
Did any of the fans that come to the club walk up and say, hey, keep doing what you're doing?
Yeah, that's the worst when dudes be like, hey, man, it wasn't that bad, man. Hey, man, you just got to hang in there, bro.
Dust yourself off and try again.
Yeah, man, hang in there, man. You're going to be all right, man. And the women was nice. They were like, baby, you're going to be okay. You cute, though. You cute. Give a damn about being cute.
Can we get back to the dishes in the kitchen?
Oh, God.
Yeah, glasses. You hear the silverware hitting against the glasses.
News headlines, entertainment, sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, 27 minutes after the hour, y'all. The front page is being brought to you by America's Best. Y'all go by America's Best, man. You never overpay for eyewear. Get 2 pairs and a free quality eye exam for just $69.95. It's not just a better deal. It's America's Best. Eva, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. I'm your girl, Eva Marcel, here with a quick look at your front page news. So here's the latest on the war in Ukraine. President Biden said that he was expressing moral outrage, not U.S. policy, when he said Russian President Vladimir Putin cannot remain in power. Meanwhile, a new round of talks between Ukraine and Russia are set for today in hopes of ending the war. In national news, President Biden has revealed his 2023 budget proposal, which includes a new tax on the wealthiest Americans and a corporate tax increase. Biden says taxes on billionaires could cut the federal budget by $1.3 trillion. The proposal also includes an increase in military spending and a $33 billion towards law enforcement and crime prevention. A federal judge concluded that it's more likely than not that Donald Trump committed crimes in his attempt to stop the certification of the 2020 presidential election. Meanwhile, the House committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol wants to interview Virginia Thomas, the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, over her involvement in trying to overturn the election. Now, in other news, the governor of Florida has signed into law the Don't Say Gay bill that bans certain teachings about sexual orientation and gender identity in the classroom. And a poll says that more than half of Americans now say that they have had COVID-19. Last but not least, Walmart is in the news. They will be removing cigarettes from some stores in California, Florida, Arkansas, and New Mexico. Yes, Rick, the cigs are gone.
Please, man, where my grandma gonna get her some, man?
Virginia Slims.
Lord, now we got to go to the damn sit-go. Pal Mal Gold Filter King Cool Extra Strength Light 100s. I'll be
Sound like
damn.
you've been to the store a lot of time to get
Okay.
some
What?
A couple.
Well, you better know you out there going to have a pack of Pal Mal Gold, an empty pack. Where I won't get the wrong cigarettes. I'll be damn. Now we got to go to Walmart and then stop by the gas station.
Dang.
Bingo. Yes, sir. Well, that
Damn.
is an attempt, Ricky.
And you know,
to
it's just sad because Newport don't even have the T-shirts no more. You can't. Newport had the glasses, the T-shirt, the whistle, everything.
I used to always want one of them camel shirts.
Yeah. I'll be damn. What is we gonna do?
Rock T, what's going on in sport?
Oh, NCAA March Madness is what we gonna do. Women's Final Four is set. South Carolina, Louisville, Stanford, and UConn. All of those are number 1 seeds, except UConn is the number 2 seed. They beat North Carolina State last night in double overtime. The NFL expands the Rooney Rule. What does this mean? Every team must hire a minority offensive assistant coach for the 2022 season to address the league's diversity efforts. The Rooney Rule, if y'all don't know, is a policy that requires teams to interview ethnic minority candidates for head coaching and senior positions for every NFL franchise. There it is, man. Former Cleveland Indian great Jim Thome and his wife are longtime Cleveland Browns season ticket holders, and they are canceling their support, boycotting the Cleveland Browns for signing quarterback Deshaun Watson. The sexual misconduct allegations against Watson were too much. Thome's wife says she is not accusing Deshaun of being guilty, but said the volume of 22 women accusers are enough to make her own decision.
Okay, well, why he ain't been criminally charged?
Well, everybody's saying he paid off all the...
Yeah, but even if you pay all the women off, if there is evidence that you committed a crime, you still gonna get arrested and go to jail.
Not if the women don't press charges.
Sometimes all the state will still press charges if you've done something.
But
I don't know. I could be wrong.
I mean, there's something there, but they're asking the women. Okay, are you going? If we take this to trial,
right?
You know, are you pressing charges? Do you want to move forward? And if Deshaun Watson,
since they don't have enough evidence,
exactly.
Okay,
so,
I understand.
You know, we don't know what happened, but they're saying that he paid off all the women to go away to hush it up and sign a non-disclosure to never bring it up again.
It's just funny. Right after that whole situation with Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns, they stopped selling cigarettes in Walmart. Y'all let that thing rest on you, man. It's a conspiracy.
It's connected. I see it. It's connected.
Am I lying?
I see it. No, I see it.
Man, this stuff, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got to start reading into this foolishness, man. Now all the people got to go to the damn gas station, and then, boy, that thing deep. Boy, go on with the next thing, man.
Man, we're going to go ahead.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot and
that's hot. You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
All right, Rickey Smiley, 28 before the top of the hour. What up, Brett?
What up, Ricky? Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brett Tat Tat, and this is the hot spot, where we bring you music, movies, and more. So let's get off into it. Well, y'all, according to the New York Post, Atlanta star Donald Glover hired Malia Obama to write for his new Amazon series. Malia has always said she was interested in getting into the film industry like her parents and is already making a name for herself, Donald Glover said. He said, just like an amazing, talented person that she is, she's really focused and she works really hard. So congratulations to her. Meanwhile, The Game and 50 Cent have reignited their beef this past weekend. Lord have mercy, 50 commented on record exec Jimmy Iovine snubbing The Game at a recent Los Angeles Lakers game. 50 commented, LOL, that man didn't even look at him. Get this guy out of here, 50 wrote. The Game responded, man, I ain't even see Mr. Burns. If you wrote my records, write you one a day and put it out, LOL. Your rap career died with them lollipop strap tank tops. You an actor, and that's why you ran the TV. Lead this rap stuff to gangsters who can spell correctly and actually got bars, goofy chump. Game continued, throwing 50's girlfriend, Cuban Link, into the mix, saying, hit Swiss and Timberland ASAP and stop running from this verses. Oh, and tell your girl stay out my DMs. If she don't want her man overweight, fat, and hanging upside down like a rotisserie chicken at the Super Bowl. Cuban Link responded in another Instagram post and pointed out the message was from 2015, years before they started dating. So I guess, in 2015 she was in his DMs, but it wasn't recent, like I guess Game tried to make it. So Jesus, Lord have mercy.
Hanging upside down like what?
A rotisserie.
Like a rotisserie chicken at the Super Bowl.
God, you know Walmart be having them chickens up front. Right up front. You can get them Walmart chickens right over there.
Your rap career died with them lollipop strap tanks.
God,
cold-blooded, man.
Man, I don't want them to beef. They were so good together, man.
And I had some of them doggone tank tops.
I hope you didn't, Roxy. I hope you don't have no pictures.
There was two exists. I had them too.
Damn, Brett. Oh.
No, them was the best. I had all white. Them was the best.
So good.
I want an underwear, the two exist underwear before I switched over to jockey. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't, cause I don't have no muscles like that. You know what I'm saying? I see stuff like that look like a spaghetti strap. I mean, I'm looking like a bra walking around the house with my back out and stuff. Like I'm looking like Clarence Thomas' wife with that green dress. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a whole lot.
It's a lot.
All right,
And
y'all.
we got to go all the way to Cleveland to get some cigarettes.
No, we finna wrap up the hot spot on that note, y'all. Coming up next, we got Unetta Spring. We're talking
Gary,
out
where we going to
Tuesday.
get cigarettes from?
And we got the praise mix down with the White Stone.
Gary.
Y'all, the time now is 25 minutes before the top of the hour. Gary gone, and it's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
What's up?
It's Talk It Out Tuesday with licensed professional counselor Unetta Spring.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. It is Talking Out Tuesday. Listen, man, y'all help me welcome our therapy expert, licensed professional counselor, Unetta Spring. All right, Unetta, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ricky. How y'all doing this morning?
Man, blessed and highly favored. I know you got some good stuff for us today.
Yes. So, listen, y'all know we've been on this mindfulness, and I plan to talk about supporting Black women for Women's History Month. But we got this stuff going on with the Oscars, so let's go ahead and get into that a little bit more. I know y'all talked about it a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to talk about was just the beautiful example of support that Cory Booker offered Ketanji Brown Jackson, during that moment that I'm sure a lot of you all have been seeing, last week. And then a couple of days ago, we saw a different type of support, and I use that term, loosely, but both of them were very emotional, right? One was met with validation and affirmation, and the other was met with violence and aggression. Right. And one thing I always say, and I said it on here a few times, is if it's hysterical, it's historical, right? So the stronger the reaction is, the further back it goes.
Right.
So what we witnessed in the present with both of these individuals is historic. But when I say historic, I mean it's a reflection of a personal trauma history, right? And when we get triggered, we not only react to what is in front of us, but we are also reacting to what happened to us and what we witnessed in the past or what we experienced in the past. And another thing I always say is trauma freezes our memories. And then our triggers come and they unthaw them, right?
Oh, wow.
So what we witnessed, in my opinion, was a full-on trauma response, and what I'm speaking of is, the Oscar situation. One thing we got to be mindful of, because I know we're like choosing sides and, we don't condone violence or anything like that. But there's a difference between an excuse, a reason, and what is reasonable. So when we make excuses for people, we try to lessen the blame, or we try to defend, and we try to justify behavior. But a reason says, I understand why and how this happened, but you still have to take responsibility for the actions. I'm not saying it's okay, but I understand how and why a person may have responded that way. And just because we have a reason for how we respond does not make our behavior reasonable.
Right.
It doesn't make it okay. And if we don't know how to navigate our triggers, we are going to be responding in unreasonable ways. We can't be reasonable if we aren't aware of our triggers and we don't know how to respond to that. So I want to leave some space if y'all have anything to share.
No, we really appreciate that. That's a good perspective. You pretty much, I didn't understand, didn't know the psychological and the clinical terms or whatever. But, that is definitely a lesson learned or whatever, because that's what a lot of people were saying about some of the, that he was definitely triggered from something, in the past. And we just hate it happened. So what happened with me? Why did I lose sleep over that? And it bothered me so bad, and why a lot of us took that so personal. Why you think that was?
Well, I think, everybody has their different reasons. I think it connects to all of our stories differently. From the perspective of a comedian, Ricky, I could see how that could have been triggering for you, because we're telling jokes. You're telling jokes, right? And to think that at any moment, if I say or do something that is upsetting to someone, that they can respond to me in a violent way, that's activating. Right? So understanding that anger is valid. There is nothing wrong with being angry, but the way you choose to express that anger, can't be condoned or justified. Another interesting thing that I found was that in 2020, Chris Rock talked about his childhood trauma too, and that he's been in therapy, and that he has a nonverbal learning disorder, which kind of is very similar to the autism, the spectrum, or having Asperger's, which makes it hard for him to understand social cues and makes it difficult to for him to he's very literal. Right. So he can say things that are very offensive and inappropriate, but that's a part of his challenge too. So I thought that was interesting because sometimes the things that we struggle with are oftentimes connected to our professions or, how we function and things like that. So really getting us to understand that we can support Black women by supporting them, by standing up for them, by speaking up for them, and the things that directly impact them, but that does not have to be met with aggression and violence.
Right. Hey, thank you so much. Let everybody know how they can reach you.
Yeah, so you can reach me on social media at Springforth Counseling, Yanetta Spring on social media, or you can text the word spring to 55444. My website is springforthcounseling.org.
All right, y'all. Now, of course, Talking Out Tuesday is not meant to be a replacement for actually going to therapy, but it's a start, and you can always get more information on Yanetta's website, springforthcounseling.org. Hey, thank you, Yanetta. All right, y'all. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.